Welcome to Flying with Mike. Good morning, everyone. We're getting an early jump on this a little bit. We're taking the Zibo out for a little spin today, if you will, from Atlanta over to Newark. We're going from clear skies to a snowstorm. So we'll kind of see how things go. For now, sit back, relax, enjoy. We're going to get into the pre-flight here momentarily so that way y'all can keep up with the flight. So with that, we're bringing Sim Toolkit over to start the pre-flight brief. All right, and on the pre-flight brief, as you can see here on the right side of the ledger, KATL, which is Atlanta, to KEWR, which is Newark. That is our plan, Hartsfield to Newark Liberty. Flight plan, Blummer 2 to Sparta, which is Spartanburg, sorry. Q22 to Barry, to Fock, to Flybo 3 into Newark. Hopefully, if everything stays as planned, 22 left will be the runway. Out of Atlanta, 26 left. Loadout for today, as you can see on the left side of the ledger, payload. Now they're going to show packs because it is technically a passenger aircraft still. They haven't got it geared up for freight. But we're putting an equivalent weight load of 153 people on the main deck, totaling out the payload at 38,190 pounds. Fuel for the run, 21,000. We'll put in 749. We're getting that from Professional Flight Planner, basically putting in an extra 1,000 pounds or so. All right, so moving on. Atlanta, we're at 26 left will be departure. Runway heading 275. Altitude for Atlanta's airport is 1,026 feet above sea level. Contrast that to Newark. While we're still basically on a 10,000 foot runway landing on 22 left, the heading is 219. The airfield itself, 17 feet above sea level. So we're gonna, we're coming from the Appalachians into the oceanic area of New York. All right, so moving on, let's talk about flight will be today cruising at 33,000. Kind of something's not looking right here, and that's why I was on the loadout. So 33,000 will be the final altitude today. So we're going to kind of keep it, moderate altitude. Cost index for the cruise, 85. And I do that with all 737 flights, so I don't care if it's here with Mac Air or Sim Air Force or whoever I'm flying for. That's the cost index I use. Now, if you're not familiar, real quick, let me get a quick kind of sort of plug. It's a free aircraft anyway. Oh, gave it away. Zibo is a PMDG very close look-alike. Here in X-Plane, I mean, there's only a couple things I've found that are different for free versus the flights Microsoft World prepared FSX and back. The new one doesn't have it yet, you're paying upwards to 80, 90 bucks for it. So there's a plus for you folks. This is a free aircraft, bunch of liveries out there for it. It's a great performing aircraft. So if you are looking for an aircraft that's pretty easy to fly, it even comes and helps you out. We'll show you how it's going to do that with checklists and everything so you can go through and make sure everything's done. This Zibo 737 is high on that list to have. Okay, so um, again, moving back to the right side, we just talked about the cruise index or cost index, my apology there, and the cruise altitude. I got the two merged. 33,000 is what we're heading up to. Cruise again, or the cost index of 85. This is a total of 643 miles in the air. Average wind 288 at 95. So we're gonna be kind of pushed along, but yet it's kind of quartering on us. So we'll kind of see. Hopefully we'll get some good times in, and we'll go over those in a minute. Here's our fuel breakdown. We'll put 7 in for our reserve, and continuing down, our alternate is Boston, and at Boston also planning 22 left, um, and that is a 320 mile run going to Merritt and then Ocean 5. So it's kind of loops you around out in the ocean, then back in for the runway. Next up, no MELs or things that need to concern us about our cruise that interfere with, if we have to put more fuel on or what's going on, or possibly not allow us to take off. And then finally, our routing. Here it is again. Plummer 2 to Spartanburg, Quebec 22 to Barrie, direct FAK, direct Philip 3, arrival for 22 left. Time-wise, 2-hour flight. Looks like scheduled 2:10. Block time's going to be pretty close to 2:10 estimated. Finally, our breakdown on the weights. There's the 153 people. They're planning 3,000 pounds of additional cargo below. Totals up to 38,200 pounds for a payload. And again, we're running with 21,759, so we'll be a little higher, about 54.1 or 2 on this. And that, folks, wraps up this portion of the pre-brief. Other than, let's take a look at what kind of significant weather we're dealing with. Mainly the big item that jumps out is this number 1, which is over en route to Newark. I thought it was over. My bad. It's over Washington, D.C., Delaware, and points there to the north and east, or west. And that is light turbulence to 42,000 feet. So we might see some bumping around. We'll keep an eye big time on it. Plus, we have 2 jet streams to worry about. This one here, all cutting in again. They're going to be helping to push a little bit, but also push to the east. So, and then this one's more direct up here. So we have to keep things in mind. And then off the coast, embedded QBs. Oh, excuse me there, folks. Okay, so there's your significant weather. We're at 33,000, so our 30,000 foot wind chart kind of reflects that, northwest flow hitting us at about anywhere from 50 to 100 knots. Next one up should be 34, and again, little bit stronger as this is part of the jet stream right here. So anywhere again from 100 to 150 knots. Actually, a little lower, closer to Atlanta. But anyway, we get the idea here. And we're not going to have any step climbs, so that's all we're going to do here. So that, my friends, wraps us up with what we're dealing with flight plan-wise. Real quick, bear with me as the chart refreshes and shows us here at Atlanta. We're parked right up here on the cargo apron for FedEx. And that is our spot. I'm kind of figuring out how we're going to push still. I think we're going to go this way and wrap around. But anyway, we'll get that when we get there. So, but this is the north cargo area, and as you can see, uh, FedEx has the northwest corner, UPS stretches down the southwest area, and it's free for all there. Plus, there's another cargo apron south of the terminals, south of runway 27s, called the South Apron. About a dozen, half a dozen to a dozen spots there as well for the other carriers that come into the Atlanta area. All right, so again, probably going to push this way, come out on this taxiway to Alpha and work our way around to, actually, uh, yeah, we'll just cross at the end, go to the end for 26 left. And that's our longest runway here on this side of the airfield. Plenty for the 737, so plenty. We could actually go 26 right if we really wanted. All right, so that gives you the idea. There's our METAR for Atlanta. Winds 270 at 10, gusting to 17. Watch your toupees there in the Atlanta area. 10-mile visibility, clear skies, temperature 12 degrees Celsius. Altimeter 3012. So, with all of that information, folks, let's hop up into the cockpit and the aircraft is already powered up, APU on, and we'll take it from there. So, fading over, and there we go. So, we're sitting now in the 737 Zibo. We're going to finish up a couple of things here. 21,749. That's going to be our fuel. 21,749. Okay, and all you do is you click, like to load the aircraft, you click here, and then you load it by zones, and they show you the zones. I'm configured for the 180 passenger version, folks. This is a single cabin cargo plane, so we don't have bulkheads for the section splits. So straight open tube. And then I just threw 5,000 in each of the cargo bins underneath. Now we're a little heavier than scheduled. I'm going to actually pull that down a little to help us out. And hang on a second, he says. To the 100s. Okay, so 4,900. Let's see how that does. 4,900. Think we can get away with 48. Just getting it a little closer. What the heck? What are we looking for again? 190. Oh, no, we're going to stay right there. So we'll be at 38,370. Our scheduled loadout was 38,190. So we'll go with that. All right, so we'll go back. I hit the wrong one. I meant to, with the Zibo here, you get this tablet. It's really cool. It actually tilts for you, helps you out. So like when that glare gets there, you can kind of move it there. But I'll show you a few of the features here momentarily. But basically, when you're trying to maneuver, like the page 4, you would click over here. When you're coming back, you click here. If you want to go all the way back to the beginning, you go there. All right, so we're going to be loading 21,749 pounds of fuel. Now, to get it actually flowing, you come back to the beginning of the fuel. Actually, we'll do it this way. You go to Fuel, Weight Management. There's where you set your payload. You come back to the main menu right there and click the fuel truck call. Boom. And when it turns red, it's fueling. When it turns green, it's not. And when we look outside, Yes, we're looking from in the building, folks. You can see the guy filling. Okay, so let's go back. Now, what we're going to do is a quick cockpit acceptance. So, in order for the power to be on, we know the battery's on, the GPU's on. Now, we are going to start the alignment process just to be safe. And I'm also going to give you a little tip here that works both here in Zibo and in PMDG. So, whichever platform you're using. If you move this switch, and again, you got two switches here. You got the brightness, and you got the one that moves it to select which one you want. If you go to HDG for heading /STS for status, when you switch these to nav, it'll tell you how much time you have, much like the 777, and I want to say the 74 does it. And you'll see the little time countdown in the nav display. It's up here on the IRU, or IRS, sorry, on this one. So we're going to do that now. So to go to the alignment, you go to align, then nav. Align, then nav. Hang on a second. I'm just checking where I am over here. Ooh, wow, where is it? Okay, so then shows you have 6 minutes. So then you come down. See, you don't have that time like you do on the 777s and the 747 in Microsoft, or the PMDGs, sorry. So all we got to do is come down. This is how it looks when you power up. Click FMS, click initial, type in our runway, or airport, I'm sorry, Atlanta, KATL. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, we're doing that. I'm sorry, I was a page ahead of myself. Now, this one, you're going to use the GPSs. Now, which one? A couple people have asked me, which one do you click? I go by the day of the week. Is it odd or even? If it's an odd day, I go left. I also do the same thing with my ignition system. So I'm going to take the GPS left. Previous page. We're going to set that in here by clicking the line select. Everything looks good. Click route. There's Atlanta, that's what I was looking for, and I didn't see it. I was on the wrong page. Now, we move KATL to the origin by clicking that line select. Type in KEWR for Newark. Flight number today, this is a ferry flight with FedEx Express Virtual. So we're just going to type in our call sign. All right. Now, from here, I'm going to be typing this in. It's a simple flight plan, folks. It doesn't take long. So, we're going to SPA. So, SPA. Punch it in there. More than likely, it's that one. But if you're using SkyVector like I am, guess what? Check it. It's what the pilots do. They'll pull out the maps, take a look. All right, hang on a second here. All right, there we go. And where's my SkyVector? There it is. And that should be Spartanburg. And that's roughly 115.7. So we know that part of it's right. 35 north, 81 west. And if we need to, we can go lower. And if you need to zoom in, folks, these tired old eyes of mine need to sometimes have that help. Okay, so we're at SPA. Then all we do is fill in the rest of the flight plan. So it's going to be Quebec 22. You'll type that out. It goes on the bottom here. Click the line select there. Next up in line, Barry, B-E-A-R-I. And hang on a second. I'm working too hard here, folks. Sorry. Where are we at here? Then FAK. And that puts us on our arrival. All right, like I said, very simple, very easy. Activate, click execute, boom, it's in there. Next page puts us right back to where we started here on the route page. Now, one thing I'm going to show you that I do that's probably a little different than a lot out there. I'm going to go to the progress page. Then I'm going to go back to Sim Brief, where I actually you can go to Sim Toolkit under your flight plan, look at your mileages. Here, let's just do that real quick. Okay, so if you look at your mileages over here, and we're talking right here, as long as that number falls in between the GC and the ground distance, we're good to go. And in this case, we're 653, which is well within it. So, as you can see right here. All right, so let me pull that away to make things easier for you all to see. All right, so we know our mileage is good. So what I would do with PMDG, and for some reason it doesn't save here, I may have to get an update. I get this. Key not or invalid entry, it is what it is. Maybe I've got to go into the config and get a save file set up. I don't know. Not a big deal for me. All right, so now we got to select our runway. We can't do that. So we'll click Departure, DEP, ARR. Look for our departing airport, which is Atlanta, KATL, or wherever you're departing from. Click DEP over here. And then we're looking for Plumber 2. Right there. Click that line select, put Sparta is our transition, and then what runway we're going to take off on. 26, which one did we say? The left side. Okay, so 26 left, and all you do is click that. Now they're all selected. You can see now our IRS has aligned, and the route is beginning to show up here. So all you do, click execute, everything becomes active as well as that route. We'll go over that in the departure brief. Okay, moving on. We're going to go to the holy crap, hang on a second. I got a lot of fuel on this plane. So we did that part. We'll be back to this in just a minute. Something's not looking right. 21749. Or maybe I'm just catching something in the wrong way. But if you didn't catch it, showing we have 4,000. Hang on, we'll just do it the old-fashioned way. 8,000, that's 22. Oh no, that should be about right. My bad. I think I'm just times 2 plus 4,310. Okay, that works out for me. All right, my bad. Sorry, folks. I was a little nervous there. All right, so we are actually, this is our actual fuel boarded. 1.7. There we go. So that's what's our fuel. Let me zoom in because I know my eyes need it. I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of you out there are like me and need it too. All right, sorry about that. Got to have that coffee, folks. All right, so for the zero fuel weight, we look good. Reserve, we said was going to be 7, I believe. Technically 8.2, but we'll go with 7. Now, if you're asking how do I figure that up, when you look at your fuel numbers, Let me do it again. I'm going to just easily bring Sim Toolkit up here. Hopefully, it'll be, for now, I'm also going to give you the where we're at, what we're doing. But let me bring up the program itself. And I'm just trying to make it a little easier. There we go. Fade that over. Okay, so you're also going to see at the top our basic flight here. But when you're on Sim Toolkit, I hope y'all are seeing this, in the planned fuel area, right there in the first section, you'll see trip, what's your I hate that word. What we're, contingency. The boss from the back of the room helped me out there. Um, our contingency of 15 minutes, alternate, this is to Boston, so we want to make sure we have that 4.8 in it, and the final reserve 3.4. By FAA, you're supposed to have 45 minutes of fuel when you get to your destination, which, if it's, in this case, we divert to Boston, we got to have 45 minutes on the ground there. So you got to make sure you can make Boston and still have 45 minutes of fuel. So technically it's 8.2. I'm just going to go with 8. All right, so we'll put 8 in there. Double check our flight level, 330. Okay, so let me clear all of that, at least that part out. And okay. All right, so cruise altitude is 33,000. Boom. Okay. And our winds estimated on here, that was that average 288/095. I'm going to put it in 288/85. Let me make sure it was. I thought so. 95. And put it right there. I do not know where to find this information to plug it in. If I did, I would. But anyway, we're going to go ahead, click execute. That activates all of this information. Now, technically, you could do this while the IRS is still aligning. But try not to go any further. I do it all the time and never have troubles. But again, the real world, they usually can plug this in, but they got to wait for the alignment to complete. All right, so continuing, we go to N1. Now, this is where things get subjective. Okay, SimBrief does not give you this information, hence Sim Toolkit can't relay it to you. So I use Professional Flight Planner for this. It does, and all I have to do here is finish up what I was doing. I'm getting my takeoff information right now. Calculate. Come on, finish calculating. Thank you. And I'll go ahead and get my landing for now. Again, this is at dispatch time. This is not when I get there. And I always set it up for the worst case scenario. So we'll have engine, wing, and we'll be in icing. Reason I do that. We are on a 10,000 foot runway if memory serves. So we got plenty of room there. We'll probably, just a heads up, break 3 for landing. Coming in on the 22s, the FedEx hub that is at Newark is literally all the way at the other end of the runway. So we try to eat up some runway in our slowdown. Okay, there we go, and apply. And we'll update performance real quick. Come on. And release the flight. All right, so we're not going to go through the ACARs and all that because y'all can't see that. It's kind of silly. But if I could tie it in from Windows 7 into Windows 10, we would in a nanosecond. So let me just kind of straighten things up there. We're looking at a takeoff of TO. That's where we're set already. And a select temperature of 33. Okay. Now, unfortunately, this program doesn't give me the breakdown of what we reduced N1 from a full power takeoff. Now, for climb, they have us at climb 2. I'm going to go with that. All right. So the other program I'm going to go ahead and pull up. This is the one that would have ACARs and all of that to assist us with our V numbers. Hang on a second. Oop, 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 oop. He hits the wrong. This is where it gets fun. Too many keyboards and too many different computers. Okay, so there's that. Updating. Close. Yeah, we're 10,000 feet and nothing's changed. So we're going to do a compute. Now this will give me that number. Looks like 95.2, 95.9 will go with it. Now the other thing it gives me is the margin. How much runway am I going to have at the end of the runway? 2,300 feet. I think that's adequate. Okay, so we'll move on to takeoff. We're going to go to the next page. First thing we're going to set up is 280 at 12. That's our wind. Boom. I do not know how to enter this slope. I'm going to try something. Just, how do I get it to go plus? I don't know how to get it to do that. Let's just go 3 point, oops, correction, 0 point. What the heck? See, it's always invalid. And it's because I can't get it to do the positive, is what I'm thinking. It always comes up. No, we're not going to do that. Anyway, I can do the heading. So /275. And that's right there. We're going to put an acceleration height of 1,500. I do that on all aircraft, folks. That's just something I do. The outside air temperature is 7 degrees. I'm showing 14 over. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, 14 over there. Big disparity, outside air temperature. All right, so we'll go to the next page, which puts us right back here. Let's click ZG right now. Okay. 95.9, and we're going flaps uno. All right, let's see how close. Now, that came up pretty close. For 33, we need 153. Oh, takeoff rotates also the same speed. And V2, 156. Real quick to let you know, this one basically, V1, is if an engine goes or anything like that that you think is unsafe for takeoff, you can reject to that speed. After that speed, you're committed to go airborne. Unless it's catastrophic, like both engines go, well, you're not going to go to the air. You're going to go probably off the end, but that's the safest course, obviously. But you commit to air at 153. 153, we're rotating, so we're right at the same speeds. 156, that's 50 feet over the end of the runway. We'll be well over that because we got 2,300 feet. So, and there you go, folks. There's your FMC. Let's get back over here to the checklist and get rolling. Checklist, preliminary. Voice recorder, flight deck, access closed, emergency equipment, ELT, PSU, GPS lights. I'm going to show you all of those. Service interphone, landing gear light, and we'll check the rest. Okay, we're going to go all the way up to the top. Again, we can now move this switch back. And that gives us our current position. Do our device check on the wings. Service interphone is in the off position. Dome lights off. EEC, which is a electronic engine control, on and guarded. Oxygen is good and normal. Voice recorder test. Light goes out. Close the switch. You may or may not hear these two tests. There's the Mach airspeed warning 1. 2, stall warning. 1 and 2. We don't have the switch here. Landing gear is showing down and green. However, the next check is all the way down. Make sure the lever is down. With the Sparks 43747, I have actually found that up a couple times. And we want to make sure the parking brake. I do not know where the manual gear extension door is on the aircraft, and the engine panel and oxygen panel. So let's do those real quick. Oxygen is right here. Just listening. If you heard it, you would have heard air. Parking brake is set. Engine display is on. Okay, moving on to the next checklist. We've done this, this, and this. And okay, so lights, EFIS control, mode control, oxygen we just did. Clock is set, nose wheel steering set, display, select, takeoff config is off, cabin altitude. Okay, so we're going to test our lights. To do that, we're going to come down, zoom in so you can see what we're clicking. We go to this column right under the EFIS, says lights, move it up to test. All of your lights are going to come on in the cockpit. Your numbers are going to flash. So feel free, look up, make sure they're all on, all the way up, and all the way down. And then reset it by just clicking once down. Now, while you're here, because you're going to end up doing it later, I always do this. Okay, what else? We did that. Okay, mode control panel, and we got to get the EFIS. We'll do those two together. We're going to zoom in. Okay, EFIS and MCP. Okay, first thing on the MCP, set the airspeed. 156, I go plus 10. Okay, 275. And if you set it for 25 here, folks, on your bank limit, that just eases it from doing a 30 and potentially hearing bank angle. Annoying. And then we set 33,000 for now. At the same time, I'm going to go ahead and turn the flight directors on. Okay, so let's move over to the EFIS. All right, now all this is basically going to set up some information here. We're already on VOR, and you can see that here. We're set for that. We're going to turn off traffic. Now, the good thing is, minus what I just did. Hang on, we'll just do that real quick. Everything repeats over here, except for that. Okay. Whoop, I didn't want that. I wanted this. All right, so first off, the altimeter. Get the latest and greatest if we can, 3012. And we're just going to set that. Okay. Also, kind of watch your altitude. Make sure you're pretty close to it. Because that's the other indicator if things are working right. 3012 should translate out to 1026 or so on your altitude. So granted, it's not digital, so you can't specifically see it, but make sure it's in the ballpark, which it's coming on 10,000. We'll see what happens with 13. See what I mean? So we're close. We're good. All right, so now we're going over and setting the radio. Now what I set this for on all aircraft is 100. In an X-plane, if you hold the left key down, it scrolls at a rapid rate. It's nice when you're doing the baro at a high altitude airport. Sucks when you're low. So at 1,000, what I'm going to do, plug in 400 above. So we're going to go to 1,400. And for some reason, it loves to do that with me. Now, what is going on? Now, all of these two figures have been set on the other one. As you will see, we're on baro, 3012. We're all set to go over here. All right. Again, VOR, flight director, and it's going to say FD. FD. Okay. Back to our checklist. That does page 2. Didn't we? Oh, no, we didn't. Some of these. Okay. So we did the hold 1, hold 2. Stage trim out of trim. That is one of these lights right here. RMI. This, make sure it's guarded right now. That's fine. Okay, so now we're going to move to the speed brake. Reverse thrust and forward thrust. Okay. You're all going, huh? All right. Speed brake is here. Make sure it is down and forward. So to be down, it has to be all the way forward and the lever down. See, it moves up. Oh, see? Now, the reversers are here. Easiest way to see them. They are down. Thrust. That's here. Make sure they're closed. Next page we'll have start levers. These are the levers. Let me make sure that's the verbiage they use. Flaps, engine, start levers are at cutoff. Now, the reason these are called levers is there are switches above us. So you want to make sure they're at cutoff. Right above it, you want your flaps all the way up, 0 and 0. And that should read up. So 0, 0. Parking brake is set, but we'll double check, triple check, quadruple check, folks, whatever it takes. Stabilizer trim cutoffs, and we'll set our navs for departure. So hang on a second. Okay. Here's our stab trim cutoffs, and they are, let me just zoom in. They are set properly. Now, our navs, 123.45, that is for POSCON, guard channel. There's a Unicom channel from VATSIM. 121.5, that's another guard channel. That's the one you all hear Mayday, Mayday on. 122.95 is another Unicom. I'm going to try something I have not heard from POSCON. Hang on a second. Gives me a chance. Still nobody there. Okay, well, usually it pings off something. Oh well. All right, so and that's our frequencies. Now for departure, we'll get that momentarily. Okay, racing through these now because the next one's really long seats. That okay, and there. Okay, the next one we're just going to rapid fire go through and point out things if we need to. Okay, we'll do the fire check. That's up here. Give you a little better look at it. Okay, overheat test 1, just going to turn lights on. Test 2, we get bells. Hear them? If not, sorry, they're turned down. Then we're going to do the test extinguishers. Okay. Finally, cargo. Same thing. We're looking for the red lights to come on. All right, that was a good test. We'll go ahead and start up the APU. Turn on the aft fuel pump. Actually, hang on a second. Do a cross-feed check here real quick. Okay, the light should go out again. Okay, now we'll turn it on. Yeah, when you turn it to cross-feed, the light's going to dim. Okay, always make sure you have a fuel pump on. Oh, come on. And there goes the APU firing up. Okay, everything's looking good. What we're watching for is this light to illuminate. That's the APU gem. Once it's illuminated, we'll click these two down, taking us off external power. Should be coming on any time now. There it is. And we'll wait for the APU to stabilize, go into gens. And at this time, turn your bleed on. Auto. Okay. And equipment cooling, normal. Let me look at that up here. Okay, I'm not really sure on the 7.3 where it's at. Okay, what we're going to do is back out of here real quick, turn that off, come back to the checklist, and the good thing is they save our spot, especially on this one. Okay, the lights, the passenger signs, windshield wipers, window heat, probe, ice, and hydraulic and air conditioning will be checked to make sure they're all set. Window heat, probe heat's off, anti-ice is off, electric is off, engines are on, trim air is on, zones are at auto, recirculator is at auto for left and right, pack left, pack right, and auto for the middle, and all three packs are on. Altitude set for 33, 0 on the airfield we're going to. Oh, and forgot, emergency exit lights are guarded and armed. And let's go ahead. There we go. And wrap this one up here real quick. All right, so the lighting panel is set. Now the ignition select switches. Now let me go back up here. This is the other. These are the switches. These are the levers. Nice that they make it so close together. We're on left again, odd day. Lights are set. And coming back down. auto, mode control, EFIS, oxygen. The rest of this is pretty much what we did on the other side. Takeoff light, there hold 1, there hold 2, flight check, landing gear set. We are not setting the reject at this time. We'll do that after pushback. And we're just going to rapid fire close. Okay. Well, we don't have anything to set transponder. Okay. That brings us up to before start. I'm just going to check to make sure nothing else was missed. And all right, so that's bringing us up to before start, folks. All right, so let me, oh, that's not all the way up. Yes, it is. Okay. So what we're going to do is come back to here. We're going to do a quick departure brief, and then we're going to push and start. I am kind of under a gun. I got 30 minutes to go. Hopefully we can do this. All right, so pull that up. All right, so there we are here at Atlanta. Well, wait a minute. You're not seeing this. I am. Some toolkit. Okay, so as you look at Sim Toolkit here, here's where we are. Now, we are going again. Across the top, you'll see it, Plumber 2 to Spartanburg. Q22, this is all the fixes along the way. To Barry, direct FAK to the let me try that again. PHLBO3 arrival. 22 right via Agnes, which is Teterboro, into Newark. Okay, so for where we're located here, like I said, up here on the North Cargo Ramp cargo building, which is FedEx, we're going to come out A7 onto A, over to Alpha to Bravo, and take off. The Plumber 2 departure. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go back here, get some frequencies if we need them. He says cautiously. ATIS 125.55. There's our clearance, ground, tower, and departures. We're going to be going to our departure, which will tell us our frequency right here. We're on 125.7. Okay, so pictorially you can see the route already, extending there. Let's get into the finite information about it. Again, 26 left is our departing runway, so we'll climb on 275, intercept course 300 to MPass. MPass, direct, well, wait a minute. Then on the depicted route, the Plumber, maintain 250 knots to Zeeland, and cleared from there on. Top altitude 10,000 feet. We'll be continuing our climb. All right, folks. So again, MPass to Zeeland to Smog, Dillon, Plumber, then Plumber, Tents, Enwant, and Spartanburg. Okay, so that wraps up our charts here, folks. And then that shows the departure a little better for y'all. I'll zoom out and center. All right. Now, finally, we already know our V speeds, but let's go over them one more time. 153 for V1, 153 for rotate, 156 for V2, leaving us 2,317 feet of runway. And our METAR is valid as of, oh gosh, 40 minutes ago, 280 at 12. 10-mile visibility, it's clear, it's 14 degrees out there. Celsius puts it a little, pushing almost 70, and 3012 for the altimeter. And just to make sure everything's legal still in Newark, 240 at 8, 10 miles. Okay, now they don't show anything. Well, snow showers are still in the TAF. Ceiling at 7,000, 9,000, and 11,000. Overcast at 13. So there are a lot of clouds. We're going to be coming through a lot of layers. 4 degrees Celsius there, and it's 2968. So obviously, there's a low pressure somewhere between us, if not on top of them. And then finally, let's go to the live map. Here's where we're at, right up here. And we're pulling back. I'm surprised there's no one else with SimBrief nearby us. Oh, there's one. Anything like a blue airplane icon on here, that's SimBrief. All right, folks, so we are now ready to push and start. So for the push and start, all right, so I'm glad we did the pre-flight brief, and I did a check here. Real quick, what I did is I went to plugins, better pushback, pre-planned, set my pushback, clicked the left click on the mouse to set it, click enter to go. And that's bringing then we came back to better pushback, clicked start, and he is now just about hooked up. Real quick, flight door we're not going to worry about.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
Oh, we got to do something here first. A couple of other things. Let's turn that collision light off. She locked my doors, dang it. Oh, good, we're set. I hate that. All right. All right, so we're okay now. If I can just get to the right one. Oh. Okay, and that briefing's complete. Push back.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
We'll do that in just a second, sir. And let's get our transponder going through a test. Okay, we're not going to get a test. No big deal. KF Carrillo. Oh, welcome aboard. Hope you enjoy the stream. All right, so we're going to go ahead, release that parking brake. We're going to do an engine.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Okay, now we got a long pushback, so we can go through this. So first, make sure all of your fuel pumps are on. Make sure your collision light's on. Of course, select which side you want. I take the left on this day. Now, in order to get the engines to start, you got to turn your packs off. And then I'm going to switch down here so you can I'm going to actually go to this one. A little further out. Okay, so we're going to be watching N2, which is this, and the oil pressure. They'll come alive right at the end. Then we come up, we're going to start with engine number 2, which is our left or right engine. And then we're going to start number 1, which is the left. It's one click to the left to start them. You'll see the valves open. And N2's climbing. At 17, but no higher than 25, bring that lever for number 2 up to idle. You can see the oil pressure coming up. And they will work their way up. There's your light off. You'll see your EGT climbing, N2 still climbing, N1, and oil pressure still climbing. So we're doing good here on this start. Like I said, it's a long pushback for what we're having it have us do. Okay, and when N1, which is this one up here, and the EGT settle, looks like they have, we'll reach up here, get the generator on for that engine, and we're going to crank the other one. And we've got a flap setting. Okay, pressure's coming up. We're at 17. Let's go ahead. And we got a light off, and about 50 to 52 we'll see here the cutoff, and then we'll see it, the valve close. And you heard it. See, they're back to auto. Valves closed.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Okay, and we'll turn the parking brake on.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Okay, had to get something running. I forgot it like always. So let's go ahead, let him disconnect since our engines are all going. And what we're going to do is continue on now. Looking over here at our engine start, we'll catch up. Pack switches were off. Start switch, ground, verify. Go into idle. Okay. Cut out and done.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the right. We'll see you next time and have a great flight.
And thanks for flying with Mike. Alright, so all we did is click Gen 1, so we have both Gen 1 and 2 running. Now we're going to come down this panel. Basically, we're going to turn the probe heats on. The windshield heat or the wing ice we don't need. Engine ice at this time we don't need. Pack switches we'll make sure at auto. Isolation valve at auto. APU bleed off. Start switches go to continuous. Start levers. See how this starts to get kind of confusing? Go to idle. So we're going to, that's a lot there, a lot to breathe out. All right. So, window heats are on, probe heats are coming on. We do not need this. Hydraulics are set. Packs auto. And you can see those coming on. Bleed can come off. And do we have the APU to turn off now or not? Yep, APU bleed. Start switches to continuous. Always forget that one. It's one click now to the right. And start levers, they're right there and they're in idle. Okay, next page. Ground equipment's clear. We'll set the flaps, check the flight controls, and go from there. All right, so from here, what we're going to do, let's click. Okay, now we can see everything's good. We have pressure, we have quantities for our that. The area we're more concerned with is right here. That is our control surfaces. So we're gonna, let me go ahead and bring them back. So we're going to go left, right, left, right. Okay. All right, folks, we are ready to taxi out. All we got to do is get our flaps, wrong airplane, to flaps 1, which, yes, is sometimes a royal pain. See where that puts us. Okay, and trim 5.5. We're going to take a look down here, make sure trim is at 5.5. All right. And taxi light, hit it. And before taxi, we're going to ding, 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 ding. APU is going to go off. Hang on, folks. There we go. All right, so let's turn the parking brake off. Here we go with the elapsed time on the first officers to brake off. Back to engine. Here we go. All right, well, I fear we're not going to make our 11 o'clock departure time. So we'll walk it through and take off probably quiet. Okay, flaps are set. Let's get back into cockpit. And about 20 knots is a good ground speed to taxi at. All right, folks, we are on the move here at Atlanta. Got about 10 minutes to get airborne, so we're working our butt to get over there quickly. Give us some power here. While we're going, we'll run that before takeoff checklist while we're going. And YouTubers, will see you at the end of the runway. All right, everyone, welcome back. We're coming up to 26 left. Before takeoff checklists have been completed for Twitch. However, we'll go through them real quick. Start switches, continuous. Auto brake, RTO, hold line for 26, or instrument hold line for 26 left. Means we're coming up to the other. Wig-wag will be the hold line. And we're going to start slowing. All right, folks, there's the runway ahead of us real quick. Turn off lights are on. Position lights are going to strobe. And see if we're moving. Okay, that's what I want. ATC, okay, so transponders on TARA. Heading bug set for runway RNAV. VNAV set. Lower cam, we're not going to blanket. However, we got a couple of things we do have to do. Compliments of this aircraft. Okay, real quick. coming over to here, coming over to here, coming down. Go through the before configs are set, flaps are green, stab trim set to 5.5, takeoff briefing complete, cabin secure, MCP set, transponder set, strobes are on, landing lights will be on. There's our before takeoff checklist on the yoke. All right, so here we go, folks. Atlanta traffic, FedEx 811, departing runway 26 left. Here we go, folks. Those of you new to the channel, if you'd like, and you haven't done so and you want to see where we're headed next time, click follow. You'll get an email notification letting you know of our next destination when we go live. All right, so let's bring her out onto the runway. We're steady, lights on. Reject, flaps 1. Well, we'll have to fix things. Hang on a second. Little bit of power coming back. All right, folks, we got 5 minutes before that phone call. We're doing pretty good, lined up. All right. We're still a little crooked. We'll make up for it in the rollout. Just looking everything over. Okay. All right, lights on. Clock running. And VNav, LNav set, auto throttle set. Here we go, folks. And toga. And we're straightened out. Here we go.
80 knots.
Okay.
V1
Here we go, rotating.
positive rate.
Gear up.
400.
Okay.
$1,000.
And we're going to go ahead and go with the autopilot now. Make that turn as we intercept. Acceleration. Okay, flaps are going up. Okay, so we're going to do the after start takeoff checks, and then we're going to go quiet. All right, so flaps going up as scheduled. Auto brake is off. Gear is up and off. Throttles, we did that. V1, V2. Engine start switches will go to auto at 18. Landing lights off at 10. We are on our climb. Folks, enjoy the flight. I'm going to be sitting here, take anything on the Chag through the Jogo 112, 1235. Welcome to the stream. How are you? We're doing great. We're airborne to Newark. We're going to be going silent here because my wife has a very important call coming in a minute. Hopefully we'll get straightened out. All right, we're cleared now up to 250. And coming around, we'll head up to 10,000. Folks, if you like what you're seeing, like what you're hearing, click follow. That way, again, you'll get a email notification letting you know when we're live. We're always flying X-plane. It's either going to be the Zibo 747. We every now and then dabble in that MD-82 that I'm not a big fan of, and some GA aircraft like the 208 Caravan and King Air. All right, so we are firming up. I'm going to go ahead and push this out a little. And likewise over here. But Jogo 1235, again, welcome to the stream. We are doing great. 9,000 feet. Let's go up here. We're going to start turning lights off. Okay, and whoop. All right, folks, we are going to go silent here for, I don't know how long, but we are here for chat. So y'all, we're not going to be away. We'll just be on silent while my wife takes this call at work. Okay, folks, we're going to do the approach brief here real quick. I'm going to be a little on the quiet side here so I don't interrupt her meeting. But real quickly, going through it, we're coming into Newark on the PHLBO3 arrival from FAK, tracking right up this line to Metro, to PHLOB. We're going to go up to Patron and then come in on Teterboro for 22 left. Procedure-wise, comply with all altitudes. All right, so from FAK, we got to be at 27,000 at Flat Rock. Oh, wait a minute. Correction, we are coming in from Flat Rock, so 27,000 at FUBRR. Above 20 at Dew Point, above 13 at Steffi. Oh, excuse me, I got the burps all of a sudden. We got to be at 11 at SOMTO. Dillon, we have to be at 8,000, and we'll continue on from there to our FPHLBO, and then we'll transition over to the arrival. Okay, the ILS for this approach is indicated as India Lima Sierra Quebec, frequency 108.7, final approach course 219, and at buzzed we need to be at 1,497 feet. MSL, decision altitudes 211 feet, airport elevation 11, touchdown, 1711 for touchdown. Again, we're coming in from Patron. It's about 7 miles to Teterboro, and then we'll join the ILS. All right, real quick, we're going to see Pappy's on the left. ALSIF for the arrival lights, which we may or may not need. 500 feet on the missed approach. Right turn to 3,000, heading 225 inbound on the ARD VOR to Kilma, and we're going to hold. All right, and then just so you all can see our minimums for today. And then finally, once we land, 22 right or left, we're going to come down anywhere from Echo, Papa 2, November, Victor, all the way to the end. Any of these high speeds we'll take, head up to Bravo, then work our way over to the FedEx ramp. Okay, that takes care of the charts. Let me scoot those, out of the way. Real quick weather update. Has changed slightly. 240 at 14 for the winds. Still good for 22s. 8-mile visibility. Light rain. It's a broken, so we're now broken at 1,800 feet. Broken at 3,100 feet. Overcast 4,000. Temperature still above freezing. Dew point -1. And we'll be setting 2966. Get that written down here for our altimeter. All right, folks, so that's our arrival brief. The only thing else I have to go over with here as we hop back into the cockpit is fade in. Okay. The only other thing I want to go over is our V speeds, and they are looking at, for a reference, with engine anti-ice on and expecting icing. We're going to set for an auto land, brakes 3, VREFs 149, 160 for our approach speed. All right, folks, so we'll dial that in now. We just, if you weren't paying attention, I'm sorry, but we dialed in our approach information while we were transiting here. Okay, so real quick, we just hit departure, DEP ARR, hit arrival, and there's our information. We are going off a pattern. Okay, so we're going to come here. We're going to put in 30 and 150. We'll go with that. That's close enough. Plug that in here. That sets our VREF up. We're kind of bobbling around out there. All right, folks, so we are now set up. Let's see where we are in reference to top of descent. 62 miles. Alright, so hopefully we'll be able to start our descent here shortly and get in here to Newark. We're going to go ahead while we're here, get that anti-ice system on. So one, we don't forget, and two, it's available. Alright, and checklist wise. Okay, altitude verified, system annunciator, VREF page set. We'll switch over to that, get our nav radio set up and the auto brake. Okay, so let's go down, get the radios. One more time, that frequency. Oh, wrong chart. I think it's 10. Oh, come on, play nice. 108.7. Okay. Alright, we are set up there. Come back up here. And a frequency real quick. Or I'm sorry, heading is going to be 219. Alright. 219. Okay, so we're all set there. So we're going to go silent again here for a little longer. Hopefully as we get closer to top of descent, we'll be able to come back with you. For those of you that are watching on YouTube, the video that'll be produced from here will be back here in a few for you. So no worries. All right, folks. We're going to go silent again for about another 20 or so miles, then we'll start down and we'll go silent. All right, so stand by. Okay, folks, we're back with you real quick. We're going to start our top of descent. And to do that, we're going to click level change. Get that set. And VNAV. Okay. We're going to come back, go to approach. Make it, no, we're not going down. Okay, we'll do it another way. All right, there we go. That was my bad. I forgot. I was thinking 747, not 737. We had to click descend now from our descent page. All right, forecast should be right there. Is our transition level for those of you unfamiliar. Always check the descent page. All right, folks, so we're going to go quiet again here for just a little bit longer. We'll come back. And currently 170 miles out from our arrival point. Now we're headed to 27,000 feet by FUBRR. That is right here. And I've got our altitude set for that. Okay, also, in case y'all did not see it, we'll do the descent brief one more time. We've got our descending engine start switches. We're going to go ahead and click those to continuous now. Oh, not ground. Let's do continuous. Ground means we're starting them. They're already running. We got the ice on for both wing and engine, and we're expecting icing coming down through the clouds. It is raining, so that's why everything's turned on and the numbers we have. Okay, going down. Where's descent at? There it is. We'll turn to fasten seatbelts on now. And okay. Landing lights at 10,000. And let's check over here one more time. Pressurization we verified. We've set the, we'll get to that reference speed one more time. We got to set our baro. We have our nav radio set and our auto brake set at 3. Okay, so what we're going to do, simply move this from baro to radio, putting us up with our DA of 100. Now, currently, because of an 1,800-foot ceiling, we're going to stay with the autopilot until we see the runway. We may go for an auto land. See how she does on this one. And that 1,000 to go is 27 for FUBRR. Okay, auto brakes are at 3. Radios are set to 108.7. Approach course 219. And again, for those that may not have heard, by buzzed, B-U-Z-Z-D, which is right here on the approach, 5 mile, 4.5 mile final, we need to be at 1,497 feet MSL, puts us at about 1,486 above ground. Touchdown zones 11, airport elevation 17, and our decision altitude is 200 feet. So giving you another, let's see, and once again, Pappy should be left side of the runway. Alsif, which is -2, so we're going to have the full lighting array coming in on this one. All right, so let me clear this up, clear that up, and all right. Now I know you all weren't seeing that. I was just going through it verbally. Let's set our next altitude, which is 11,000. and then we'll make sure we start down as we cross here. So we make S Samto and we are descending. A little slower than I'd like. That's fine. Okay. Now, I do know with PosCon, oh, we still don't have any traffic up here. Okay, that's a Kennedy. We're coming into Newark. I'm shocked. No one signed up for ATC there. They've been on almost every day. All right, folks. So again, I do apologize for that long break. YouTube fans, we had to what we had to do. So alright, we're just going to kind of sit back, let the music do the talking here, as well as maybe a little bit of the playing, and bring her in. Remember, it's 11,000 at Soul Moto, and then Dylan 8,000. Okay, we're back with y'all. That last song I like sometimes listening to, Conspiracy Theory 2010. Really a neat little tune to listen to on Pretzel Rocks here. Now you're listening to New Sheriff in Town. Folks, following along, if you want, put in your predictions for the landing. I'm going to put mine in. All right. And it goes in the exclamation mark predict space your prediction in feet per minute. Got mine in there. Not sure if y'all saw it or not, but we thank you. Just a little something to get y'all involved into the stream here. We can also pull up the METAR right off the stream by going !METAR KEWR. Boom. And about a half hour old. The same weather. Let's see where we are. Oh gosh, excuse me. Boy, if it's not the yawns, if it's not the hiccups, it's coughing. I tell you, man, I got everything just going wrong with me today. Okay, we'll click standard to get us to the right altimeter setting of 29.63. We're going to make sure seatbelt signs are on. We're on continuous on our engines. Lights, you don't need these as of yet. That's 10,000. Anti-ice is on. Probe heats are on. And okay, so here we go, folks. We're starting down. We're on the southern edge. Let's take a look at. I'm going to take a look at Sim Toolkit here. Switch over to the live map as it refreshes. Alright, so we're getting into some scattered rain in this area. Still showing a big swath of rain. Actually now getting more, a little north of the airfield. So we'll see how that actually pans out for us. Also, with Sim Toolkit, folks, in the live map mode, you'll see your fixes for the arrival, and they actually break them down to your altitude restrictions. So you have that as well, so you don't have to keep hunting and pecking for them. Alright, so we are now at 15,000. Again, we'll hold up at 11,000 at Somto, which is our next fix now up ahead at 13 miles. After that fix, we go to 8,000 on our MCP. And then I'm going to set us to about 5,000. Well, I'll keep us for a little bit. But what I want to be able to do is bring us in over pattern at about, let me make sure my thinking is right here. See, Teterboro, 3,000. So I want to try to come in at about 4,000. So we're going to set for about 6 and then start our descent to 4 and then we'll wrap it into the 3. Should get right on the glide slope, right into Newark. We'll see if my game plan works. So we've got terrain on this one, weather on this one. Don't expect the weather to really show up. Let's switch over to this one. Keep it there. I'm going to drop 1 notch on here. Oh, we'll keep it till at least Metro at the top there, and then we'll possibly drop down. Okay, coming through 12,000. Normally I don't descend this slow.
As you go.
Okay. Sorry for that interruption, folks. Not a problem. Coming up on 11,000 feet right now. And we're going to go ahead and start pulling the music back a little. About 10%. See how that does. Okay. All right, so folks, all right, we just crossed our 11,000 foot mark. Let's set for 8. That's our next restriction at Dillon, which is a little ways up. Alright folks, and just to let you know, there'll be no stream tomorrow. I gotta work at the airport here in St. Louis, Mid-America Airport. But Thursday, if everything comes out right, we should be back online. Let me give you an idea what we got planned. Okay, that'll be... Okay, that we'll see. Again, the reason I say that, overtime is starting to evolution up for several reasons, but I don't know if I'm going to be on an overtime shift or not. If so, then my game plan will alter drastically. If I'm not, I'm planning 2 flights for Thursday. But again, if everything, if I end up on overtime, that's all out the window. We'll see what happens. Friday, though, again, depending on overtime, is Perth to Singapore. If we're here and able to fly Thursday, it's Kansas City to Nashville, Nashville to Boston. I think we're going to try it in the MD-82, but I may do it in Zibo. Alright, so we are now penetrating the cloud deck here, and she never descended. Alright, so we go like this, and once we establish the descent, we start going down. Look at those weird marks on my windshield. Well folks, we're gonna let it, we're not gonna worry too much about, whoa, easy girl, easy. Okay, we're starting our descent, and I'm going to go ahead and continue that to about 5,000 feet. And time for some speed brakes. Okay, now we're at 10,000 feet. We're gonna sound the attendant, hit the gang bar for the lights, get them all on. Okay, double checking. All set here, 3. All frequencies up. Okay. Alright folks, so we're now descending to 6,000, slowing up on our, let me make sure we have no speed restrictions. No speeds that I can tell. Yep, no speeds, so we're going to maintain 240. Okay, whoop, hang on. All right, we're coming up on Metro, and now we're going to go ahead and drop 1 level. Wait a minute. Yeah, 1 level. And speed brakes off. We'll keep an eyeball on those speeds. We're still wanting to hold at 8. Why? Let's see if I can't help it along. Oh, I don't like it when it does this to me. Hang on a second. Get okay. Okay, so we're just going to do a nice, easy descent. No more than 900 to 1,000 feet a minute. Make sure our speed brakes are up and no longer. Make sure they're not armed. Now, when your speed brakes open or go armed, you'll see a green light here. Okay. And at PHLOB, is it? LBO, we'll do the approach checklist. And then the ILS as well, so that way we can go right on to it. Okay, so the descent procedure is complete. What's up next is the approach. We do have the landing lights on. We do have the signs on. Okay, I lied. We're set. We just did the approach. Okay, everything applied. Real quick, let's talk the ILS out here as we're descending. Okay, we're going to go. We're going to set well, we'll kind of see how things work out once we come in from pattern. We'll probably go into approach, so that way we get the localizer capture. Glide slope will be alive. Once the glide slope starts coming down the needle or down the PFD, we're going to set gear down, and we'll have flaps out, hopefully at least 15 degrees. Make sure we have our 3 with the engine start levers will still be in continuous. We'll make sure the speed brake's armed and illuminated, and at the capture of the glide slope, we'll start finishing out our flaps to 30 degrees, and we'll make sure our missed approach altitude is set. Okay, folks, so that you'll have to kind of watch it here. All right, so we're coming up. Let me see if that's our... No, that is not ours. Okay, sorry about that, folks. Had a nice little coughing fit there. We're maintaining 240 to 5,000. Okay, that is not, by the way, our localizer information. Our localizer is India, Lima, Sierra, Quebec. So, and we're not gonna, I didn't expect to start picking it up here. Oh wow, they wanted us at 8,000 all the way past here. Well, we're down at 5. Alright, so one more time I'm going to go around the horn. Okay. Wow, it has us at above 10 degrees on our air temperature. Let me just make sure nothing new came out. Ah, we sure did, 20 minutes ago. 262, scattered at 1,800 feet, broken 3,000 feet, overcast 7,000, still 230 at 10. All right, so let's adjust. Okay, so things are looking a little better for us. Okay, so it's going to be a 20-mile run over to Patron, P-A-T-R-N. And again, sorry for the sniffle there. By the way, we have been on the air 2 hours 53 minutes, airborne 1 hour 33 minutes. Trying to get those numbers a little closer together. Well, not bad, I think, for roughly 5 months, 6 months at this streaming thing. But thank you for flying with Mike, and for those of you who follow the channel, we really appreciate you. Okay, so we're going to intercept our line to Patron. So we'll just set it like that. Now, again, here's where I'm going to set us up. Start coming down to 4,000. Nice and easy. Because what I'm also going to do is slow us to 220. And we're back on the throttles. Flaps are 0. Brakes are at 3. Okay. So now we're firming up, slowing up. I also, when I cross Teterboro, want to be at 180. Because, folks, I think we're like 12-mile final. If that. We're in kind of tight, but that's the way things work here in New York City. Yeah, Gimme is the 7 miles out, and so yeah, we're like 10 miles final at that point. So, all right, so we're into clouds. It is doing something out there, as you can see on the windshield. One thing I do like doing here. Hang on a second. I'm going to turn on the wipers. That's something you don't see in FSX. Can't speak for Prepared, don't have it. We're not going to worry about it till we get on final. But that's a neat effect. Kudos to X-Plane and Zibo. I know yesterday I was ready to throw it out the window at points. Well, we still have those points. Okay, we're firming up on... Let me just make sure. 1087 is active. 1087 is active. Okay. And what I actually might do is slow to 210. Okay. Now we're 3-4 degrees, so I'm glad the anti-ice is all on. Let's make sure it is still on. Let's go to this one. All right. Now, when you're flying at night, folks, I want to give you a real quick tip here before we get to PATRN. If you're flying at night and those strobes are bugging the hell out of you because of the flashing, turn them off. Even in the real world, folks, they'll turn them off. Because if you're in the clouds, yeah, the strobes will help someone else see you, but they're going to distract you from watching your primary gauges right here. So turning them off isn't going to hurt anything. Okay, so we are now 3.5 miles from our turn to Teterboro. And that's a 7-mile run. So let's go ahead, start slowing up. Actually take it down to 200. Oh, actually, no, because of traffic here, let's do 210. In the real world, yeah, they'd start slowing in the turn and flaps going out like nothing. Okay, so there we go. There's IEZA. That does not look right. What runway? 22 left. Afraid what the other one is. This is 22 left, right? Yep. There we go. ILSQ. Alright, so the localizer's available. We're above the glide slope. Let's come down to 3. Let's start slowing to 200.
Thousand to go.
Localizer will go ahead and arm up. Get one notch. We'll get down to flaps 5. And start slowing to 180. Alright. Okay, we're making our turn. VOR's active and locked. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's what it did. It took the other ILS frequency without us knowing it. Okay, we're going to have to settle for our own descents. Give me at 2,500 feet.
Thousand to go. Thousand to go.
Putting the gear out. Slowing us to 160. Arm speed brakes. A lot going on now. There's your green light. Let's come up here. Hallelujah, we're breaking out. Try this again. Flaps 20. I don't see the runway. Oh, actually I do out there in the distance. And we're going to go ahead. There it goes. Let's see if she lines on it this time. And for now, it's set up for auto land. VREF again is 150, 30-degree flaps. Alright, we're going to kill the music. Okay, we're firming up on 22 right. Newark traffic, FedEx 811 lined up on the ILS runway 22 left, gear down. Track it down. There goes land 3, so we are set for an auto land. Again, 160 is good, and you, oh, I think we can turn them off. Now we're still getting stuff, so we'll...
1,000 feet, stabilized, Mr. Perch, altitude set.
Alright, that'll be 3,000. Real quick. Yep. Alright. Runway's in sight, folks. I'm going to go ahead and let her try an auto land. The last time I did this, it wasn't bad. I'm basically testing out, because this airline I'm flying for, FedEx Express, virtual, they have weather certification, so we'll give it a shot. Alright, so we are now 160, 300, runway in sight. We are landing, brakes 3, spoilers set, gear down, 3 green. Landing checklist complete.
2 approaching minimums.
Okay,
100 minimums.
everything's looking good. Let's see how she does.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Okay, reverse.
$80 knots.
Okay, folks, welcome to Newark. Looks like 77 feet a minute. Crossing the other runway. And after we get through all the runways, we'll do our after takeoff that our first officer would be doing if we had one on board. And no, the real airline does not fly with one pilot. Okay, so we are on the ground here in good old Newark, New Jersey, 77 feet a minute. MJ Schmidt got it right. That's me. All right, so where are we at here? Landing roll procedures, speed brakes down, flaps will retract. So let's come down to here. Speed brakes are up, flaps are coming up. Make sure it goes to 0. Auto brakes are off. And landing lights off, probe heats off, stab to 4 units. About right there. APU, let's get that fired up and the landing lights off. Turn the strobes off at the same time. Probe heat, anti-ice, and auto. Okay, we're going to go to 3. We did that, landed. So we can go through all of these. We're on the ground safely. Back, let's go to after landing. Auto brake is off, speed brakes down, probes off, exterior lights, engine starts to auto. Weather radar, flaps, transponder as needed. Whoop. So here we go. 4. We'll do 0 real quick. Okay. What we're going to do here is turn the weather radar off, terrain off, TCAS off as well. And we're going to take a look outside the plane. Folks, we are headed there. So we're going to turn left here, come up in the middle here. We'll take one of these spots right here. All right, so let's get back in. And let's get going. Okay, looking out the window, we'll gauge our turn. All right. I hope you enjoyed that landing, folks. That actually was fun. All right, and welcome to Newark. Okay, a little music while we taxi in. If you can hear it in the background, you may or may not. I've got it turned down. Okay, so keeping it slow. Okay, the next taxiway is where we're going to turn. Actually, let's do it this way. A little bit of what the pilot can see. Granted, it's out the tail, not out a drone hanging back over them to look over. That's where we're headed, folks. Just so you have an idea. Actually, I think we're going to park on the south side there. So, ease up. Make our turn. Auto lands are always fun, and to me, the most amazing thing that a piece of machinery can do. I mean, when you think about it, folks. Just an amazing thought. All right, so what we're going to do. What do we got here? We're going to go down to the south part of FedEx here. And we'll take one of these spots right over here. Now, straight ahead of the aircraft there, in that far corner, that's where the regional aircraft, the 208s and ATRs go. Quite a few of them heading up into the northeast. All right, which one should we take? Now this is where a lot of the Airbuses would park, 757 and Airbuses for FedEx. Your heavier aircraft, 57s towards the rear, the left there, but 67s and bigger to the front and scattered about. And some of the MD-10s would come down here, maybe MD-11. Why don't we take spot 34? I think I blew this one. Alright, well, that was quite funny, folks. Hang on a second. Not the fact that I blew the taxi, but my wife forgot that I had a soda already. Alright, so that's cool, though. And here, let's go ahead, push it into the spot here. And as you can see, you have 757, you can probably get a 67 in here. MD-10s, A300. Obviously, A310s aren't much, little bigger than what we're in. And we'll hit the brakes right there. All right, let's see here. We are in, and again, that is what stand did we take? I think it was 34. Yeah. All right, so we are. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to bring us up a little closer to that. Okay, we'll call that government work good. Get the beacon back on. For some reason, it always shuts off. All right, folks, we're going to go into the shutdown procedure. So parking brake, obviously, is going to be the first thing. Electrical power set. I don't even think we turned the APU on yet. No, we did not. So they're going to have to wait. Oh, sorry about that, folks. Had to mute real quick before I coughed in your ear. Just making sure the APU is firing up as it is. Be a couple seconds here. We'll continue on and come back to it. All right, we'll put the engine levers fastened. Seatbelts can turn off. Collision lights are off. Fuel pumps will go off. All right, so we'll get all of these here in a minute. Okay. All right. She's firming up here. APU bleed will go on now. Okay. Generator is on. Fasten seatbelts to off. All right, and okay. Transponder now goes to standby. And all right, so let's go ahead. We're just going to come up here. We're going to bring the engine levers to shutdown, cut off. Come back up, and they are rolling back like they're supposed to. And let's go ahead and turn off our wipers. Okay. Any collision can go off now. Alright, we can go ahead. Check our panel up here. Anti-ice is off, propene's off. Fuel pumps coming off except for the one for the APU. Hydraulic pumps off. Flight directors off. Auto brake is off. APU running. And folks, welcome again to Newark. Making sure I didn't miss anything. Alright folks, we are in Newark. Let's come back to home. And set the chocks out with the stairs. GPU is now on and showing. Just switched into that, turned that off, and we can now shut the APU down. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, welcome to Newark. Again, we had a 77 feet per minute auto land. So hope you all enjoyed the flight. We're filing it right now with FedEx. They show us at 101. Okay, be technical. All right, so let's hit stop log. All right, for some reason, the flight report was not accepted. I'm going to have to get with FedEx and find out why. But anyway, folks, we thank you for flying with Mike. And as always, we hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday. God bless. And we'll see you if everything goes well on Thursday, unless we're on overtime. Y'all have a great day, and we'll see you then.